해외 입양동포에게 친가족과의 재회는 기적이라고 불립니다. 하지만 희박한 확률을 뚫고 기적처럼 가족을 찾더라도 한국 가족이 만남을 거절하는 등 저마다의 사연으로 재회가 무산되는 경우도 있습니다. 전 세계 한인들의 다양한 삶을 소개하는 글로벌코리안. 이번 시간엔 연락이 닿지 않은 친어머니에게 자신의 마음을 전하고 싶다며 사연을 보내온 미국 입양동포의 소식을 전해드립니다. 함께 보시죠.
I'm a Korean adoptee, 한국 입양인이에요. And I'm here really because I'd like to continue with my birth family search. I did some searching, a couple times when I went back to Korea, and I'd like to try a little bit more. Right now, I live in Rochester, New York in the United States. I think there were different times in my life where, I struggled. I think a lot when I was in high school and middle school, there was a lot of bullying. And now as I've gotten older, I've learned to really kind of embrace who I am and where I come from. And even going back to Korea, I think that's been helpful in solidifying that Korea is not just this place on this map. It's an actual country with people, and that's where you're from. So currently, I'm working. I work a full-time job. I work in the special education field. When I'm not working, in my spare time, one of the things I really like doing is I like to act in films. I've done a couple of small commercials, and I do a lot in the local film community, short films and movies and things like that. So in my paper, it does say that I was born in Tongyeong, and that my birth mom is from Koje. And, it says that she didn't graduate with a high school diploma. I think it says she graduated from middle school. And there wasn't any information about my biological father, so I don't really know anything about him. So when I went back in 2019, they took me back to Tongyeong. And so I just spent like a day and a half wandering around Tongyeong, walking around and seeing what it looked like there. And my first thought was when we were on the bus, the really long bus ride, I just looked out the window and I was like, wow, I could have been here. This is where I could have grown up. And then when the other adoptee, his name was Chris, when we were walking around, I remember we were just looking at kids getting out of school or looking at school buildings and being we could have gone to school here. When I went back in 2022, I did a lot of birth searching. We went to community centers, we went to elementary schools, we went and we talked to women working in the town and the market. And, we even met this village elder in Koje who was in an area of where people with my last name, which is Moon, live. And so we found out there were all these different places where Moons live in Koje. Now when I look back on it, it all just feels like a dream. All these people were so kind, and they just wanted to help find someone to give me a lead. And and we think that we found a woman that might be my mom, but she just who if it was her, she wasn't ready to talk about it. They were texting her, and she just didn't either want to admit it, or it might not have been her. But I would think if it wasn't her, she would say, no, that's not me. I think it's just biological. You want to know where you come from, and you want to know, when I want to look at someone and be oh, we share some similar features, or, oh, I get this thing that I do from you. Back then, probably she didn't speak any English. And as time has gone on, you don't really need to learn English if you live in Korea. So I wanted to be able to even have just a basic conversation on my own without a translator. And I wish that you yourself had your best life, because I think it was probably hard for you to make that decision. I've watched a lot of documentaries about that. 저는 부모님을 미워하지 않습니다. 언젠가 저 낳아주신 부모님을 만나고 싶습니다. 직접 얼굴을 보며 이야기를 나누고 싶습니다. 연락 기다리겠습니다.